Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic, welcome back to my channel. So I have some items that will be going up in my Etsy shop. I have 10 journal kits, junk journal kits that I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much to everyone who purchased my previous journal kits. I hope that they have been helpful to you. I hope that you enjoyed them. So I have a variety of items here in this kit. There are 80 pieces all together, some of them book pages, some of them ephemera, vintage and new. There's some fabric and doily pieces. So I'm just going to get into sharing them with you. Like I said, there are 10 of them. They all vary a little bit, and I will flip through one of them completely, and then the others I will just show you pretty much the differences. I'm also going to number them. I wasn't creative enough, you guys, to come up with names for them, which is really sad, but I think I'm just tired this morning. So I have 10 of them. They will be numbered 1 through 10. This will be number 1. So here in the front, I have a fabric piece tying it all together. It all varies a little bit, but I would say that it's about 6 to 8 inches wide. Let's see. Yep, about 6 1/4. So they're all probably about 6 inches wide, and then, I don't know, 1.5 yards long. Anyway, it will come wrapped in this beautiful black and white cotton fabric. So this is a little file. I've collected a few of them over the last couple of years, so I decided to use them in these kits. I have done a little bit of embellishing to all of them, which I will show you, but I don't really know what these are called. They're like a small business checkbook size file folder. So this one has an elastic cord here on the front, and I've just included that little piece of doily. This one has some green ribbon running across the top. This would be a great thing to stick in your journal. You could add some journaling to, or it's a great little ephemera keeper if you just want to keep it in your stash. So clipped on to this with a garment pin are these 2 little doily cut apart pieces. And then I've just embellished this envelope with some layered pieces here and this old button. So I'm just going to leave that on the band. All of them have the same pieces on the inside, so I'm only going to share this once. On the inside, there is a business size envelope. There is an airmail envelope, a large guest check, an old brown personal size envelope. There is an old bingo card, an old jeweler's envelope, 1 layaway tag, 1 flashcard. There is 1 blue inventory tag, 1 library card and pocket, 1 manila colored coin envelope, 1 green claim check, and then 2 Rolodex cards. One is a little larger, one is yellowed because it's old, which I love. So all of those are inside of each one of these little pocket things. All right, so there is the first one. This is a legal size file folder that I have here, and I have some things layered on the top. So here is a vintage clothespin, and I have about 36 inches of lace here, about 1 yard of this really pretty brown lace. And I tried to match the colors really well with these elements on top with the cover that came to it. So I'll show you that in a minute. I have these old linens. These are possibly, these are really old, you guys. So there's like some staining and stuff on them, but the embroidery on them is gorgeous. You could cut these up and use them in a lot of different ways. If you don't like the staining, you can tea stain it and all of that good stuff. So there is a linen, and this measures, what do they measure? About 8 inches square. So this one comes with a really big doily. You could use this on your craft desk, or you could use it in so many different ways. You can cut it apart and use it in your journaling. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And here is the Reader's Digest cover that comes with this one. I did add some Tyvek here to the center that reinforces your spine if you want to make a journal out of it as it is, or you can cut out the spine altogether and create your own. So a couple different options there, but this is a really pretty green cover. This would be a great nature journal. And then there is one linen napkin. So this is something that I love to coffee stain or tea stain. You can tear it up, rip it up, use it to make little ruffles or page embellishments or fabric clusters. That's what I love doing with it. So that is everything clipped to the top of this file folder. Now this is one of those pocket style file folders. It is legal size, which means that it is, about 14.5 inches wide by about 9.5 inches tall, top to bottom. So inside is a lot of good stuff. So I'm going to go through this one, and I will not go through the others. I'll just show the differences. Another thing to remember is some of the items in here, like book pages or ephemera pieces, they're going to differ a little bit because they're all unique and one of a kind, but they all come from the same place. So right here on the top is one of these fun paper craft bags, and inside there is a lot of fun ephemera, and I think I sorted it out to where this is all older vintage style ephemera that would fit inside the bag. I put these together probably a month ago, and then I've just never had time to film them. So it's kind of new and exciting to me at the same time. All right, so there is a cigarette or tea card in here. So there's an old coin wrapper, one vintage seed packet that has never had seeds in it. It's brand new, but old. There is an old recipe card in here, one old card catalog card. These are some fun electric and power receipts I have from 1901. I love those. There is an old vintage airmail envelope letter in each one of these. I love this. This is a Henry's Shell Station receipt, and they are from 1960s. An old bridge paper score sheet, one old gin rummy score sheet, one old and yellowed Uno score sheet, another vintage receipt. This is from standard, like an oil change type receipt, and these are also from the late 50s or early 60s. I just think those are a lot of fun. There is an old vintage envelope in here that has been dated and stamped. I love the glassine window there on the front of that one. One old vintage nature postcard. I love these fold-a-note things. They're from the 80s and 90s from a brand called Current, and I just love them. They're one of my favorite things to collect. I need to start using them, but I included them in this kit, and that is everything that comes in that little paper bag. All right, so moving on down the stack, there is a CD paper envelope with a window, one 5x7 glassine paper sack, a blank invoice with the carbon copy paper. This piece of vintage ephemera would not fit in that bag, so I just left it out. This is an old like banking statement that I ran across and have a bunch of. These are back from the 20s, which is super cool, and it's just an old like checkbook register. Here is another invoice type paper here. Some pieces of ledger cash books. Here's a smaller one, and then one that's a little bit larger. And then coming into some book pages, these are some of my favorite nature books. I've shared them before. This comes from the Reader's Digest book of plants and animals. This came out of the Gardener's Quotation book, so it has just a bunch of pretty quotes about gardening in there. This is out of a vintage book of shorthand. This came out of an old vintage thesaurus, an old typewriter lesson book page. This was out of a Victorian calendar. So this one is particularly the month of January, and it just has some great images in here. A whole newsletter. This is from the American Herb Association, and is it dated? Is this one dated? It is not, but I know that they're from the 80s and 90s. So you get a whole newsletter. They're all a little different in size, but I thought those were a lot of fun. Another page of that Victorian planner type book with the really pretty skating image there. There's a page with the dates and the lines and things. Another old book page. This one is from the dictionary. There's an old map in here from an old atlas. Another nature book page. This is another favorite of mine. A couple Edith Holden book pages, one with text and one with some type of image. There's a stationery and envelope matching set. I really think this is pretty. I love it. I love how there's like some basket shops with some little handmade baskets there. This is from 1999, and what I love about this, especially for me because I live in Indiana, we have a really amazing, beautiful Amish community close to home, and this really reminds me of the shops up there that I love to walk through. So there's the little envelope that comes with that. There's some parchment paper. There's a piece of gray parchment paper and a piece of gold. There's a sheet of address labels in here that you can use throughout your journal. This is from, I think it's called a Victorian Flower Album, old book that's no longer in print. And I just love the beautiful flowers in there. This is from Flowers of the British Isles, another book that isn't in print, but these are fantastic for fussy cutting and adding to your pages. A nature coloring book. So on one side there's an image, and then on this side there's some gorgeous images that you could fussy cut or just use as a book page in the journal. There are some coffee dyed papers in here. There's a couple pieces here that I've done with some lace, and I love these, so I included a couple of those. There is also, this is like a bluish tint that I've done a little bit of sewing on. Another bluish tint dyed paper, and then a piece of heart paper. They might have been a little bit torn up there from drying, but there's still a lot of beautiful paper there. There is a piece of sheet music. Again, they're all different, but you get the whole piece of sheet music. This one is with A Song in My Heart. And then there's some ledger papers. This is an old, longer piece of ledger. And then there's a big fold-out desk size piece of ledger. And the file folder. Wait, there's still more in here. So there's a little glassine envelope in here. This measures about 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So 6 by 4, this is like a fun little envelope. There's some playing cards in here. So there's some pretty cardinals, butterfly, and then a red and green one that you can mess around altering. And then these are some fun things. I've had these little labels forever. They were actually my grandparents that I'm guessing they used in their business, or they had them for their business, but they're the like lick and stick. I wouldn't recommend licking them at this point, but they're fun. They're like for late bills or whatever that you would stick on. This one says, "Is there any reason why payment of this past due account has been withheld?" Which I like. And then, "Supposing that you had this amount coming from us." Anyway, those are fun. I like those. There's a photo slide in here. Most of them are nature related. He enjoyed taking photos of, but you could do altering projects with that. And then there's just a few little price tags. All right, so that is everything that comes in kit number 1. Okay, so this is kit number 2, and I'll share everything here on top that is different. It comes with that same black and white cotton fabric here on the front. This is the little checkbook file folder that comes in this kit. Again, it has an elastic band here around the front, that little doily piece, and then this one is decorated with a piece of trim here, and then a little bit of layering and an old button. And again, on the inside, it has all of the same elements. Some of these, this one is really kind of old and stretched out, so you might want to tie, if you're going to use this piece of elastic, you might want to tie and make it a little tighter. A lot of these pieces are just old and they've been around a little while. So then here's the little doily cut aparts here. And then here on the front, here is that yard of lace, and it is that same brown lace from the first kit. Here's the linen that comes in this kit. And the doily, I love this doily so much. Really pretty, nice and big. It does have a little tearing there and some staining, but they all probably do in some way. They're all old and vintage. And then here is the cover that comes in this kit with the Tyvek and another linen. And that is kit number 2. Kit number 3, I really like this one. I love this old fabric here. And like I said, I tried to pick colors that all played really well together. So this one has some pink lace on the vintage clothespin. This has another red envelope piece. This one has this little cluster here on the front with that old button and some gold trim. Here is the linen that comes with this kit and this beautiful doily. The cover is beautiful. I love these colors. And then a linen napkin. Yes, I just love those colors. I love the way that that linen plays with that color on that cover. So that is kit number 3. This is kit number 4, and it comes with this really pretty blue little burgundy vines there fabric. Opening it up, this has a really pretty brown lace. This little file folder notebook is actually a little different than the others. This is actually like a check file, which I'll show you here in a minute. I have the same little doilies clipped onto the front. Has an elastic band. This one says canceled checks on it. It's this really pretty pink trim and then a little doily fabric cluster there with a vintage button. And then this is an expandable check file. So it's a little different than the other that's a single pocket, and I just added the ephemera here to the inside. Again, this would be a great little ephemera keeper to keep with your journal that you're working in. And again, I just played around with the colors to make it all very compatible. So that is the pocket that comes with this. Here is the linen. Sorry for the trash truck outside if you can hear that. Really pretty doily here. This is the cover for the kit, again with the Tyvek and a linen napkin. And that is kit number 4. Kit number 5, we're back to that black and white cotton fabric again. And then here on the inside, there is some of that brown lace. Here's the little pocket folder that comes with this kit. This one has some vintage trim here on the front, and this is the little cluster with the vintage button. Here is the beautiful linen. And then this one comes with a heart doily, which I thought was a lot of fun. And a vintage linen. And the cover is this really beautiful Reader's Digest cover here. And again, that is kit number 5. Here is kit number 6, and we're back to that really pretty blue and burgundy floral fabric. And then here in this kit is this really pretty peach lace. Here is the linen. And then the pocket for this one has that pink trim with this little layered embellishment here, vintage button, same little doily pieces. This one also comes with a heart doily. And then the super cute cover here with the pink and the blue. I love that, which is why I, did the pink and the blue here. But yes, I love that cover. Again, with the Tyvek here in the center and a linen. And this is kit number 6. Kit number 7, we're getting there. Back to that beautiful black and white fabric. This one has some of that peach lace Here is the pocket for this one. Has that really pretty pink trim there with a little bit of a cluster here with the vintage button. Doily pieces. I love this. Look at this linen. Has those richer, deeper tones, which plays very well with this mustard cover. This is one of my favorite Reader's Digest covers here. Here is the doily that comes in this kit. Super pretty. These are the type of doilies that I love to just use as a cover or over the entire book. If you're making a journal that you want a layered doily over the entire cover, that's a great one for that. This is the Reader's Digest cover here. Tyvek in the center and a linen napkin. And that is kit number 7. Kit number 8, again with the black and white fabric. This one has some tan lace included. This is the pocket for this collection. It comes with some bronzy gold type trim there, and then this is the little cluster on the front of this one. Little doily pieces. This one, the elastic band had broken off, so I used some sari silk in this really pretty green color, and this just wraps and unwraps. And then this just wraps closed here. And I pulled that little garment pin right off of that pocket. So here is the linen in this kit, the beautiful doily, and the really pretty green Reader's Digest cover, and an old linen napkin. And that is kit number 8. 2 more. Kit number 9. We're back to this really pretty orange, brown, and yellow fabric. Here is the brown lace included with this kit. The little file folder pocket again. This one has some ivory trim here. The little doily pieces, and this is the cluster that I made on this one. Vintage button. Here is the old linen. Another heart doily. And then I just love this cover. I love these colors, which you guys know if you're part of my channel. Some Tyvek here in the center and a vintage linen napkin. Again, that's number 9. And last but not least, this is number 10. We are back to that black and white fabric. And then in this kit, we have some of that peach lace. Here is the little pocket included here, same little doily pieces. This one has some of that pink velour type vintage trim there and a little cluster here with another vintage button. And then here is the linen with these beautiful violets on the front. Here is the doily included in this kit, and another beautiful cover. Reinforced with the linen napkin. All right, you guys, so that is it. Thank you so much to everyone who watched this video. If you're interested in checking these out, the link to my Etsy shop is always in the description box down below. Please let me know if you have any questions. The easiest way for me to answer those is through Etsy. So if you have any questions, shoot me a message over there and I can get a notice on my phone a lot quicker than a YouTube video does. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.